We're
streaming, boys. We are live. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the final Siren podcast. Davos isn't going to make it just yet today. He may join throughout this live stream, but he won't be on just yet. But we won't waste any time. We'll get straight into the some of the games that we've played this weekend. We're just We'll start off on Thursday night. Parramatta versus Brisbane. We're all Brisbane fans in this call at the moment with no Davos. What's your opinions on this game, boys?
Lockie, you want to start with this? I've got nothing.
Why? What? Do you seem mad? Nah. All in all, the game started evenly, and then it just from there it just sort of fell into a big hole for the Broncos. We lost Adam Reynolds early due to a knee to the head, which he fouled his HIA. Then we lost Thomas Flegler with an airway passage injury, and then we lost Kobe Hetherington due to a concussion. Then we lost Branko Lee due to a hamstring or groin injury, and then we're down to 13. And then after that, the Eels just put on us. They just from then it was just one-way traffic. And the Eels just ran away with it, simple as that. And now the Broncos are fighting for their life to play finals, which the only thing to happen now is Tigers need to beat Raiders and Broncos need to win.
Yeah.
Go the Tigers!
On to you for a sort about you.
Look, the first 20 minutes actually kind of deceived me, honestly. It felt like finals footy came early and there was a lot of intensity. But, credit to Parramatta. They wanted some more, and especially when Reynolds left the field, you just knew that Brisbane were done for, especially when Billy threw that forward pass as soon as he went off. Look, taking nothing away from the Eels, they needed to show up. They've kept their top four hopes alive. They were sensational. They were running all riot all through that edge. Mitchell Moses had his best game of the season, arguably. Sean Lane was impressive. Gutherson turned it up compared to last time when he played Brisbane. So, Brisbane now, it's not a good look right now. They probably won't make the 8. And as a diehard Broncos fan, I think that season over, unfortunately. I just don't think the Tigers have enough in it to beat the Raiders. And mind you, we're not. Who knows if we can even beat the Dragons? Ben Hunt will be up for that game so badly.
Well said. As a Broncos fan, I only have one word to say about that game, and trigger warning for anyone. Fucking hell. Well, that's 2 words, but how? We were in top 4 all season.
We're the Broncos, the mighty Broncos. No?
Bruh,
When was the last time we actually won?
Newcastle. That was crappy.
Let's trot.
Mate, we nearly lost to the Knights. I could have guaranteed you if Clune was playing that game, we'd probably lose that. It's embarrassing to say, but yeah.
I was there. I was at that game, and it wasn't pretty.
it was not at all. But yeah, my thoughts on the game. Nah. On to next week. That's hopefully we can get the job done against the Dragons next week, and hopefully the Tigers can get the job done against the Raiders for us. But
I tell you what, though, Tigers, nothing to lose. They're at home. Last game for their fans for the year and members.
And Tomo.
Everything's lying on the Raiders. I tell you what, don't rule the Tigers out yet.
Yeah, definitely. I think the way they played today, I reckon Tigers... We'll get into that a bit later. We'll talk about that game in depth, but I reckon Tigers probably deserve to win, but... Yeah. Broncos, that's just disappointing, and... at this point, probably don't deserve... I mean, like, earlier this year we did, but after the last 2 performances, I can't say it deserves finals. Yeah.
Noah, I said this last week. They played like smonkos.
Yeah. I'm not sure why I find that funny, but I do. Anyway, moving on from
it was
now,
funny first. Okay, mate.
Yeah. Moving on to the next game. Panthers versus Warriors. Not really much to say about this game, boys. What about
the Warriors, as you can already tell, they're planning for Bali, and thank you for giving us free Welsh.
Yep. Okay. Lachlan, do you have anything to say on that or?
Typical Warriors. The Panthers. You can't really comment on the Panthers anymore. They just do this every week. It's not like it's anything unusual anymore.
It's
but
unusual
we'll just
if they
see.
Lose.
Yeah, we'll just see come finals time if they can hold it together again, back-to-back years.
I'm just gonna pass on talking about this game because, yeah. Anyway, Storm versus Roosters. A bit of controversy in this match with, I believe, Nelson Solomona doing his best chin butt impression. I don't really know what to say there. He got sin binned for it. Oh no, sorry, that was Jared Waria-Hargreaves. My mistake. On
Victor Radley going for a choke slam.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Victor Radley going for a choke slam, and then, by the way, Victor Radley, that horrible medical episode. It looks like he had a seizure on field due to that. It's a
Can
poor
I just
tackling
say
technique.
that with that incident, this is where there needs to be a line of privacy and well-being for the players. During that time, Victor Radley is on the ground. He's clearly unconscious. His eyes are rolling back in his head. The trainers are there. There's about 5 trainers. He's having a seizure. We can clearly see this. Why don't you zoom in on the players behind the play and they're having a team huddle than a bloke who's trying to open his eyes again?
Yeah.
There should be privacy for the players' well-being. It's just... I feel sorry for him. And
especially with young kids watching that shit live as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, after the game...
Even today's example, the Tigers player got sent for 10 in the last couple minutes. They showed him about 4 times in the sheds of him being angry. Just leave the man alone. There's a game still being played. We don't he's being binned. He's clearly upset about it. Just leave the man alone.
Oh, exactly. He got binned with 3 minutes left maximum, and I think he was easily showed more times than that. But as for the Victor Radley thing, I found it weird from Fox League to say this because I was watching their coverage. They're sitting there showing up close what's happened to Victor Radley. Then after the game, they've said, due to horrific visions or whatever it was, we're not going to show it again on replay. I'm thinking, what good's that going to do if you've just shown it? You shouldn't have shown it live in the first place. I mean, it was Melbourne Storm. I feel like they could have won that and would have done the Broncos a great deal of good for Storm to win that. But anyway,
Storm easily could have won that.
But it is what it is. Raiders versus Manly. As a Broncos fan, I have no comment on this game.
Manly, you just suck us. You're nothing without Turbo.
Well said. Yeah.
Well, at the moment, you can't see DCE being in a Kangaroos jersey.
100% not. I told you this, guys, before. I think our personal best, I think Cleary overtakes Cherry Evans. Let's not get fooled by Origin. That wasn't even Cleary's fault. Why New South Wales lost the decider. So, just saying, as a Queenslander myself, Cleary has that 7 jersey all to himself.
Mm.
But Cleary and Munster has to be the pairings.
100%.
I agree. The only other person I can see getting the 7 over Cleary is Hunt due to his form. Yeah. But even then, I prefer him at 9 personally. No comment on this game really. I mean,
at the moment, I would even have Nico Hines over Cherry Evans.
Yeah,
and there's literally a guy called Ben Hunt there in the team if we want him to play halfback. So, yeah, there you go.
Is what it is though. Cleary for me, he gets the jersey. Raiders, they were just too good. I would have liked it. I think at one point it was 30-6, and 30-0, and then Seagull scored. And I actually messaged, some of you boys, and I was like, every try that the Seagulls can get will help us. And then
Canberra scored 2 tries.
Yeah, they went on to score 3 more tries before the end of the game. No.
What do we reckon about Corey Horsburgh, the Humpty Dumpty of the NRL now?
I heard them talking about some player who'd gotten a haircut, and I was so confused. And then I looked at my screen and I thought, since when did Josh Hodgson return early from injury? But I think Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. Apparently he went and got a haircut and didn't like it at all, so then he went home and shaved it off, per Hudson Young, but that could just be a G-up. Yeah, I mean, he played well though, so I guess no one can judge him on that. Moving on to Sharks versus Bulldogs. I feel like it was a disappointing game. It could have been so much better. What's your thoughts, boys?
Yeah, look, the scoreline really reflects what kind of a game it was. You know, I don't think the Sharks are trying, and fair enough, I guess they're already locked into the finals. And with that win, and now with the Cows losing, the Sharks look poised to set a home final. Whether that's played at Shark Park or Allianz, wherever it is, but, you know, good on the Sharks. Last year they missed the finals. Even though I still think they're overrated, they've still got to show a lot more ticker when it comes to the finals, you know. Good on them. Hines has really done wonders for them. And the Dogs, that's reality.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, for me, I think it was just... I think it hurt to see because I think, what was it? It was 10-0 when I started watching because I didn't watch most of the first half. I sort of just tuned in like the last few minutes of the first half. Stayed there for the rest of it, and it was 10-0 for a long time.
I'll give credit to the Dogs, though. They defended really well. They defended for each other, but their attack was plain boring. When Burner's not doing anything, they are just so boring to watch.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I don't have much to add on that because
Yeah.
it's pretty. You guys covered that one.
Yeah, I feel like it just could have been such a better game. I think like as it was, I think Sharks played Bulldogs earlier this year. I forgot the exact score, but I think it was something very similar to that. I think Sharks ended up winning by 8 or something. It might have been 18-6. Sorry, I found it. Round 16, 18-6. And that was a pretty good game, and I feel like this could have been really close, but...
that was raining conditions, right?
Huh? Yeah, that was raining conditions. That was...
It was also very good to see in the Raiders game and the Sharks game afterwards, the guys doing the haka for the farewell players for definitely. Andrew Fafita and Aiden Tolman, and then Charles Nickel-Clockstad and the Raiders boys doing it for him. Just shows the passion that this comp still brings to players, and you can clearly see in the New South Wales Cup game, Charles Nickel-Clockstad was very touched by his departure. It shows people still wear their heart on the sleeves every week, as much as people brag them out. They still go out there and they show their heart.
Yeah. Some more. That Chans. It was also awesome. Diverting quickly before we go into Rabbitohs versus Cowboys. It was so good to see Chans showing emotion during. It was even his last game. It was just for the New South Wales Cup. Raiders team.
Yeah.
It wasn't even for the proper Raiders NRL side, but he was showing emotion there, and it was great to see. It's great to see he has his heart. He has his heart in it, and even though he wasn't being picked to play in the NRL, he still loves the club with everything he has, and but I reckon he'll tear it up at Warriors next year. I was really happy when he signed there. I think that's where he deserves to be.
I've got a question for you boys. Do you think Tim Martin's going to play fullback, or will he play 6 for the Warriors next year?
He'll play 6.
I think Chan's fullback. That's what they signed him for. Tomorrow Martin will play 6. I reckon Sean Johnson's 7. RC's been good, but I don't see them re-signing him.
And I think Harris break, indefinite break.
Yeah. He wants to join back in 2024, I think. And also, I think that's so weird and such a stupid thing to do. I feel like he's a reasonably good player, and I feel like that he could be sacrificing his career here by doing
100%.
that.
When you're taking that much longer from rugby league, you know, like someone's bound to take your spot.
Well, him saying, I feel like it's a bit of arrogance as well. I mean, you boys can disagree all you want. I feel like, but it seems like what he's saying is, I'm going to take a break and then I'm going to come back in 2024. You don't even know if any clubs are going to want to sign you at that point.
Do you think it's an excuse to just be like, oh, I'm sick of the Warriors culture, maybe here something? Maybe it's something to do with the club itself?
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if the Dolphins grab him.
Yeah,
that's
true. Speaking of the Dolphins, they actually made a new signing a bit earlier. I think it was a bit earlier in the week. I can't remember his name off the top. I can't remember how to pronounce his name. I think it's Jeremiah Simbican. I'm pretty sure he plays second row. He can also play centres, I believe. He looks like Micah Sevo off Wish. But, yeah, I'm not sure if he'll make the starting side, but he looks like a big bopper. And I searched him up. I thought he easily plays. He easily plays in front row. Looked him up. No, he plays centre and second row. So, yeah, not too sure. But I'm excited to see how he goes. Yeah, I think it seems like a good signing by the Dolphins, in my opinion. I'm not sure if you boys have heard of him. I think I've seen him play a bit of Q Cup for the Dolphins. And he's quite a decent player. He's actually scored. I think he's played 17. I'm not sure if it's the other way around or not, but I think he's played 17 games this season and scored 15 tries for Dolphins in Queensland Cup. So yeah, so that's a bit off course, but we'll go to the next game: Rabbitohs versus Cowboys. This one broke my heart. It really did.
Bro, everything broke my heart this week.
Every single game broke my heart. I mean, there's more games that didn't break my. There's more games that did break my heart than those that didn't. But I mean, there's a few in a row. The Roosters Storm game broke me. The Raiders versus Eagles game also hurt.
Yeah.
Sharks versus Bulldogs didn't, but then Rabbitohs, Cowboys, and Tigers, Dragons even did a bit because I wanted Tigers to get that win to sort of have a bit of confidence going into next week. But what were your thoughts on this game, boys? Rabbitohs versus Cowboys.
For me, none of these games broke my heart. When you come to a season end and you are relying on game results, you know there's a question mark surrounding your team. Are you even meant to be in the 8?
Yeah.
100%.
If you're meant to be in the 8, you're in the 8. With the Broncos, had their chances all year. They were in the 8. We were sitting in 4th with Storm 5th, competing for top 2 at one stage.
Mate, at one point, everyone had us 3rd or 2nd, you know, and I think after that Parramatta game, you know, we got the Tigers up next, you know, so it's like we've got a good start from here into the run to the finals, but yeah, it's been a shambles.
That Tigers game changed everything. We won't ramble on it for too much because obviously we want to be unbiased as possible. But
look, my thoughts on the game were that congratulations South Sydney, they're re-establishing their premiership credentials after a heartbreaking loss last week. And look, you'll be sitting to right the Cowboys now, but these type of games, the Roosters game in Sydney, the Cowboys game in Sydney as well, I don't know, man. I'm just starting to think that maybe the Cowboys have picked too early. I just don't see them necessarily as the same threat. Yes, provided they missed Deedon, but South Sydney missed Damien Cook, so it's really even up there. Look, I just don't know about the Cows if they can win away from home, and may come to a finals week one if they play the Sharks away from home. If they lose that, I think there's suddenly pressure of getting knocked out in straight sets. So because we've never seen the Cows play in finals for a long time now. So these kind of games, you know, as much as sometimes you need a loss before finals, it's sort of wearing signs. I think it's a 3rd straight loss against the top 8 side. So yeah.
Just think, if Cowboys make the grand final. The grand final's in Sydney. Most likely, 95% chance it's going to be a New South Wales team in the grand final with them. Are the Cowboys going to be able to handle that pressure?
I mean, mate. Look, if they make the grand final, I mean, obviously they're the best yet to stop whoever's there come grand final day. So look, yeah, look. So
if they have to come up against Penrith, then
I mean, who else do you?
Do you write the Cowboys off or what?
Look, I mean, if it's a grand final, look, I'll probably still tip the Panthers, but, you know, Cows are there for a reason, but we'll have to see how they go in the finals. I mean, if they beat teams in the finals right now that are red hot, like the Roosters and all that, then they're there for a reason, but, it's arguably Penrith's comp to lose right now.
Yeah. Well, thing is...
Speaking of that...
Well, I want to quickly touch on what you boys were just talking about. The thing is with Cowboys currently losing a bit of form towards the end of the season. They have Penrith next week, which will be a big game for them, a big telling game. They'll be hoping that Sharks also lose their game against Knights, which I don't think they will. But anyway, also finals is a completely different arena. I mean, you never know. Cowboys could be losing a bit of confidence towards season's end. But they could pick it up in finals. I mean, I think they haven't made finals since 2017. Is it 2017? Yep.
Yeah.
Since they last made the grand final. So I think it's a different arena. I wouldn't be surprised to see Cowboys either completely fold in finals, or completely put it on another level and make it to the grand final. I wouldn't be surprised for either of those. But yeah, for me, Cowboys either lose their first 2 games or they go on to win. They go on to make the grand final at least. So
Put it this way. If they win the first week of finals at home or away from home, they probably make the grand final for me. A prelim at North Queensland, I think they'll be too hard to stop. But speaking of that, like, has your grand final sort of changed over time? It's kind of a bit hard to read because the Roosters are in form. Rabbitohs, Storm, you never write them off. Parramatta, you never know on their day. So, is there any certainty? Because we all expect Parramatta to be there, but
nobody is mentioning the Sharks for the grand final.
Look, Sharks for me would be the obvious choice for everyone to start talking about, but they've got a soft run home. I'm feeling that like they'll go into the finals without any like proper match preparation, and they'll get exposed.
I'm feeling the exact same thing as you, Faraz. I feel like one thing that could possibly drag the Sharks down. I'm going to go back to starting from round 20. They had the Rabbitohs, which was a top 8 battle, but since then they've had Dragons in round 21. They've had Tigers, they've had Manly, they've had Bulldogs, and then next week they have Knights. It was a really soft last 5 rounds for them.
And can I go over the draw? Can I quickly go over the draw? So they got Canberra round 1. They lost that away from home. They beat Parramatta in a slight one. They beat the Dragons, okay. They beat the Knights earlier 18-0. They beat the Tigers. They got their first road test against the Storm earlier this year at Melbourne. They played really well, to their credit, but they still lost 13+. They lost by 16. Manly, they led 34-0 for one half. Second half, 22 points. They come up against a Brisbane side who had nothing going for them, Everyone thought Sharks 13+. They lost that game. They beat the Warriors. Nothing special there. They travelled to Suncorp for Magic Round against Canberra. They lost that 30-10. The Titans game, they only won by 7 away. They were leading like 20 points to 10. The Roosters game, at home. This is when the Roosters were not going good at all. They lost by 20. Then they've got from the bye. So look at the draw. Warriors, Titans, Doggies, understrength Melbourne side, a Cowboys side without origin players. Panthers, yes, that's the real test. They lost that. Rabbitohs, the early side. Dragons, Tigers, Manly, Dogs. Next week, Knights. Tell me really what's stood out for you from Cronulla. What's been really impressive? Like, what's been that one game that's actually impressed you? And
exactly.
Wow.
There hasn't been a game from the Sharks that has actually been an impressive win, and that's what I feel like might bring them down in finals. Because
they're still a threat. Don't take me wrong, they're still a threat, but
they're still
just on form right now. I don't know.
They're probably still in chances to win the premiership. For me, it's Panthers, Storm, Roosters, then maybe Sharks, and then maybe Cowboys after. Rabbitohs are in amongst there as well. But I feel like come finals, I have a feeling Sharks could also crumble.
Don't rule the Roosters out in finals either.
I'm not.
Roosters are this for me. I think after that Melbourne game, my concern was like they're on a bit of a roll here, but can they win away from home? And they've certainly proved that against a tough Melbourne side in Melbourne. It's not easy winning there. So, look, honestly, now I'm starting to believe that the Roosters might actually be there now in the grand final. And I honestly think if you put them on the grand final on the day of it, I think Roosters can beat them. They're that good of a team.
Yeah, I agree. I have a feeling Roosters are a top 3 chance for me to make the grand final, just behind Penrith and Storm. I don't want to see Penrith and Storm play again in the grand final, though. But we'll move on to because we've sort of been stuck on here. Tigers versus Dragons. We'll talk about this a bit in depth. It was just such a Tigers thing to do. Is that lead?
Well, I didn't really catch up with the game because I actually took a nap watching the one-day match between Australia and Zimbabwe in the cricket. And when I woke up, I saw the score. It was 24-22. I'm like, the Tigers played really well, and they shut up for each other better than last week, but they lost. The Titans won. And you know what that means. They've won this bad boy. Congratulations, West Tigers, on winning your first ever sprint. You played well, but yeah, there you go.
One sec, Faraz. Can you just hold that very quickly? That'll be the new final Siren profile picture right there. Move the spoon a bit to the side. There we go. But yeah, it was a good game for me. It was a good game, but I think
Jack Bird played unreal.
Yeah, definitely. he was probably the best player on the field. Arguably there. Jaden Sewer, special shout out to Jaden Sewer for that game. I think it was his 100th game, I think. Might have been a different one. Might have been 150th. Yeah, I think it's 100th. His stats are as follows. 1 try, 222 run meters. That for a second rower, that's unreal. 63 post-contact meters, 6 tackle breaks, 1 line break assist, 30 tackles with 5 missed. That's unreal for a 100th game. As Lachlan's laughing at something. But, yeah. What's so funny?
Perez's face, don't worry.
Okay. But anyway, we won't worry about that game. We'll move on to Titans versus Knights, and we're just going to end it there for the ratings of these, because let's be honest, no one watched that game.
Look, congratulations to Titans. They avoided this bad boy right here. They avoided this bad boy.
Why do you keep calling it this bad boy? Yeah.
Because I don't know.
In other news,
when the Broncos lose the Dragons, congratulations to the Broncos. They've won this bad boy.
In other news, I just want to quickly point out to anybody, like, I know people who have been sending it to me know it's fake, but to anybody who didn't know it was fake, although Titans are not winning the spoon, I will not be jumping off a cliff. Just for anyone, just for knowledge, general knowledge, in case some people think that's real, I'm not jumping off a cliff just because Titans didn't win the spoon. Okay, I'm laying that down right now. But yeah.
Also to add, Sam Revel, I don't have to do any deals with you because neither of our teams won 13+.
That's major facts. No raw egg drinking for Davos at night.
Yes.
But yes, so
no raw eggs.
No raw eggs this week. So boys, are we making any bets?
Look, give me a bet if Dragons win 13+. Just give me something, I'll do it. If Dragons win 13+.
What? No, because the teams haven't even been out yet. We'll make that bet next week. Week. I mean, we could always make a bet on the team list to see if Jake Turpin's still. No.
Reece Kennedy on the bench.
If the bench consists of Jake Turpin, if the bench consists of Jake Turpin, Reece Kennedy, and if it also has. Okay,
Ryan James?
If it had... No, Ryan James is injured, has broke his finger. If the bench has Jake Turpin...
Corey Oates rested due to fatigue.
Kevin Walters, you fat dumb fuck.
Whoa!
Hey, it's a family channel.
He is.
Fucking hell, mate. It's a family channel. No swearing here right now. But
we might have to go back and beep that one.
Yeah. Sadly, it's... a bit of controversy here. I mean, I always say this every episode. Everything's a bit controversial. But Cohen Hess, the Cowboys prop, has been charged with a grade 2 high tackle and will be suspended for 1 week with an early guilty plea.
Yeah.
It was a... Is anyone else a head clash?
Or a head clash.
Yeah.
Does anyone else see that? It was clear.
I'll say this though.
Also to add, Thomas Flögler put on report for a tackle he wrapped his arms
for a shoulder charge that wasn't even a shoulder charge. That was a turning point in the game as well.
Lindsay Collins getting 4 weeks
for a hip drop.
And who else? Who got suspended for Melbourne?
No one. Like Nelson and Jared Warrior-Hargreaves got away with fines. Like, okay, the system's broken in my opinion. I don't think they deserve to get away with fines. Jared Warrior-Hargreaves always gets away with fines, and I'm sick. I swear, he doesn't really ever get suspended for that many matches.
It's the Roosters. What do you expect?
Yeah, exactly. Uncle Nick's at it again. Just like every day of the week.
With Warrior-Hargreaves' history, it would be a carryover of offences, which then he would get suspended.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't even know. But also, Kevin Walters. I'm sorry for so much Broncos news, but there just is a lot at the moment, and it's the stuff we read up on the most. Kevin Walters has actually taken full blame for how badly the Broncos have been going at the moment, and I think rightly so. He's the one selecting.
You know what? You know what? I'm going to do this, and not many people agree with it, but I'm going to defend Kevy. This is
Why?
because on a Tuesday, Kevy picks the team list. This team list, he believes, we don't control it. We don't have any say in the team list. This is Kevy and the players. He would have his reasons for who he picks and who he doesn't. We don't know that. We aren't at the Broncos headquarters.
Yep.
That team on a Thursday night then runs out at Suncorp Stadium, good crowd, Adam Reynolds 250th.
Yep.
And they let 53 points up against him. Now, the 53 points isn't Kevy's fault. The 53 points is the defensive line not making tackles, the silly errors, the discipline, the head-high tackles, the slow play the balls. Kevy doesn't do that. Kevy doesn't miss a tackle in a coaching box.
Exactly.
Kevy gets on the walkie-talkie to Alfie and says, get out there and tell them to make tackles. Which the players aren't doing. That's not Kevy's fault to blame for.
Exactly. Yeah, actually, I agree with. I think Kevy should take partial blame for where I think some stupid decisions. But at the same time, I do get where you're coming from. At the end of the day, the players aren't putting in the effort they need to. I mean,
and we know the defense can happen. Look at 7 in a row. Look at the defensive line.
Yeah, exactly.
Mate, look. I'll say this. I agree with what you're saying. Definitely, Walters isn't necessarily to be blamed for, but still, he should still be picking the best team, especially when it's coming near to the finals. I think that not picking Tyson Gamble, changing the side when he was winning 7 in a row, putting in Mariner, Huerta, and all that when Lee got apparently injured or something. I don't know if that's true. Not picking Corey Pakes. I mean, this guy's the future. We're playing a bloke that's not even going to be here next year. I think Walters should accept the fact that he hasn't picked the best team, but. Still, look at that lineup, bro. You've got Corey Oates, Samir Martin, Katoni Staggs, Adam Reynolds, Flegler, Haas, Capel, Ricky, Jensen, who's been fine, Kobe, Keenan Palacia, Hosking off the bench. How does this team let 53 points at home? So I do agree with you.
How does the team let 113 points in 2 weeks at both?
These boys need to fire up. Honestly, it's a disgrace for the fans.
Fire up, you cats!
It's honestly disappointing for such a promising year to end like this, where we possibly lose the top 8 spot to the Raiders. Mind you, look, I'm sorry, Raiders fans, don't hate me, but the Raiders are fucking garbage, honestly. And the fact that we're going to lose...
Wait. I think that's a bit of hate that you shouldn't be directing at the Raiders. I honestly think the Raiders have been good this year.
Do you think they'll be better than the
Sixers? Faraz just watched the Sixers in a draft, so that's why he's quite angry, folks.
Okay, but
sorry for the continuance.
Who needs to be better this year? Raiders or Broncos? Simple as that. Answer it. Yeah, simple.
Well, at this point in time, you have to say Raiders.
At this point, yeah, true. That is
but look at them playing. Look at them playing.
Okay, wait, hold up, boys. Sorry, I knocked over my microphone.
Faraz. The team the Raiders beat, the Broncos versed, and they lost to. The ladder reflects on what you're playing. The ladder isn't just a made-up system.
Yeah, that is true. If we beat the Tigers, we'll still be on 30 points, and I think we'd be 7th or 8th right now. So, yeah, you got a point.
Yeah, well, if we beat the Tigers, we'd be 8th. Yep.
And also, people don't understand, if we compete against the Storm and Eels, 4 against is still about positive 50-odd, which we're still ahead of the Raiders, which we're still in.
Yeah. We could have been on 30 points right now, and we could have headed into next week. Even if we lost that game, we still could have made the finals. So that's how badly we needed that game. And I think the boys took it for granted. I think they got cocky and arrogant. A lot of you guys might be like, whoa, that's a bit harsh, but I've never seen such a dominating side only be up 12-6 at home, all over them. Just keep on making silly errors, not taking their chances, and the Tigers made them pay for it in the end. We all thought, you know what, it's just the Tigers. We'll come out second half specialists. Look what happened. And now we're facing the dark truth of it.
Well, I don't want to be this guy who constantly says what if. But bear with me for a second.
Okay.
Roosters versus Broncos, round 5 this season. Broncos leading 10-0 halftime. Tessie knew some bad defensive plays. Roosters win that by 4. Just keep in mind, say we win that game. Just keep that in your head for now.
The Warriors game. For example.
No, not even that one. Even if you look at other games, the
Storm game we didn't get.
Storm game. 2 forward passes off led to Storm tries, and 1 knock on. Take those away, we win that game. And
But also, can you even say the Broncos, like, do we deserve to be in finals? Both Queensland derbies, our biggest games of the year, we got flogged in both of them. We lost to the Warriors. We were down 24-0 to the Gold Coast Titans at Suncorp. We nearly lost to them again at Seabus. We lost to the Tigers at Suncorp. We got 60 points against Melbourne, which in Melbourne we only lost by 12.
Yeah. And also, even though this isn't really much of a talking point, but I still feel, like, the Bulldogs nearly beat us in round 2, and in that round 7, that game at Suncorp, say if it wasn't for any Adam Reynolds magic, we probably headed for defeat that game. So, yeah, there's been this year's been a good year for the Broncos, no doubt, but they're still realizing what they can grow into, what they're capable of. They're going to their roots, and the fact that the way it's finished, it's obviously sad and all that, but we're always going to get better. Next year, it's just going to get better. We're going to keep growing and growing, but this year we just found out the harsh truth, Maybe it's a good thing we're not making the finals, as much as I hate saying that. I don't want to go into the finals getting smashed 44-0, that's for sure. So, yeah, look, disappointing, but I'm still proud of the boys no matter what. Yeah. You can't tell me this hasn't been a good year for the Bronx, but, yeah.
I think we've talked a bit too much about the Broncos here. I want to end it off on something not Broncos. Cameron Munster. He's been rumoured to sign pretty much with every NRL team at the moment. Apparently, Tigers offered him $7 million. I've heard that Canterbury are looking at signing him, apparently. I'm not sure how. Roosters apparently are looking at signing him. Not sure how as well. We know Broncos have been, Dolphins have been, Storm want to retain him. What's your boys' thoughts on this, and who do you think he ends up signing with?
He'll stay with Storm. I don't see Munster leaving. If Dolphins offered him this huge deal, but just think, if he's already in Melbourne and Melbourne matched the Dolphins deal, he'll be stupid not to leave Melbourne at the end of the day.
Yeah. And you, Faraz?
Look, this is probably going to be a talking point. Like, everyone's going to be talking about... There's going to be a new article every day saying, Munster's close to a deal with the Dolphins, but I think he'll stay with the Storm. I think in the end, all this will be just hype and rumours circulating where he'll go, but I think his heart is at Melbourne. I just can't imagine him anywhere else in a Melbourne jersey. He's been there for a while. He's won 2 premierships, I think, as well. Look, as a Broncos fan myself, I'd love to have Munster, but I'd rather him stay with Melbourne, the club that gave him everything, that allowed him to grow into the player he is today. Look, can't see him going anywhere else than Melbourne. Just my thought.
For me, I think it has to be Melbourne or Dolphins. I think he stays at Melbourne for now. But the thing that could change my mind on it is Craig Bellamy. This is his last year of coaching. He will actually keep a role at the Storm, however, past that. I could see him signing with Dolphins, but apparently the newest report that came in recently was that he will reportedly re-sign with Melbourne on a deal worth only $1 million a year, which I know I'm saying only, but compared to, I think Dolphins were offering him 1.5 a year, so that just shows his loyalty if he does do that. Anyway, I think we'll bring it in for a landing here. It's been a bit of a long episode. It's been a bit of a Broncos-centered episode, and we're sorry for that. We try to be as unbiased as possible. Thanks for tuning in,
next
everyone.
week, we'll hear about Brisbane next week.
Huh?
When we go to the finals. When we go into finals, you won't hear anything about the Broncos.
Nothing about Broncos once finals comes about. But anyway, everyone, thank you for tuning in. If you watch this, if you enjoyed, please subscribe. We'll be posting more content like this. We may be looking at expanding during the off-season. Follow our Instagram page to keep updated about that at the Final Siren podcast. Thank you everyone for joining, and we'll see you in the next episode.